Hi, this is Brittany McKinney here, and I'm going to be working on my Journal 3 response tonight. Tonight we're covering Competency 3, Engaging in Anti-Racism, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in Practice. The short letters for that is going to be ADEI that you're going to hear me talk about throughout this assignment. Um, so how this assignment relates to my practicum is whenever we're using the terms of ADEI, that is talking about basically how we're applying cultural competency within our practice. We're also going to use this to apply equality, to apply equity, to apply inclusion, and that's going to be essential with all of our clients that we work with. Whenever we at my facility, I work at Kentucky Trauma Therapy. And so we really work on like fostering an environment where like everybody from all backgrounds feels welcome. I've seen a lot of diverse clients, and it's really shown that it doesn't matter like what level of life you come from. Like we all have some like trauma that we have to process and deal with. And so I think like this competency means understanding how racism has affected who we work with, how racism affects how people see us, and how our practice is going to be within our clients. We have to recognize diversity because we're going to be serving different people from different religions, different races, different sexes, different genders, different ideas about who they think the next president should be this week. And so inclusion of that is, keeping diverse perspectives, but also respecting who I'm working with and using that knowledge to apply a better care plan for my clients. And then it says, relate the competency for this journal to what you're currently doing in your field placement. What I'm currently doing in my field placement is I've been doing some pro bono work with my clients. I've kind of been doing a lot of reading lately about cognitive behavioral therapy, narrative therapy, kind of getting to know like the basics of how to apply these within my pro bono sessions. I have been shadowing my supervisor a lot, so I can't really say that like I personally am like talking about dialogue very often with clients, but I do case management. And I feel that case management at my practicum, I apply ADEI in every case that I have. I have to meet my clients where they're at, and they're all on different levels of needs. And so just being aware that, clients face different barriers from their life experiences, and no one case is the same at all. How have I engaged in behaviors for this competency at my agency? I've engaged in this behavior, I think, by being aware of like what my clients need. For instance, um, I have some clients that I can't help any further than what I've been, like they need to file bankruptcy or they don't have the money or they're just kind of quite out of options. And that was really hard for me to accept at first. But my supervisor had told me that, sometimes whenever we deal with rural populations that are resilient and we've offered all of the solutions that we can, we just kind of have to support them in being steadfast and, let them know that like we support their decisions. And even though I don't agree with it, I can advocate that I understand that like that's the way for them and I can respect it. Strengths and experiences at my agency. I think some of the coolest experience I've had at my agency right now is like we have like a group area that we kind of get to sit at like in between like clients or sessions or whatever. And I kind of am posted up there like because I don't have like my own office space. And I get to sit with a lot of like the recent graduates, they're the new CSW babies, and I get to discuss some of my, workload with them or some of my coursework. I get to do some of my assignments like from their perspective. And for me, like that's been some of the coolest experiences that I've had is just getting to like sit there and like collaborate with colleagues and get so many different perspectives on different things. Some of my strengths, I believe I'm not really afraid to ask questions. I don't like being confused. And so if I'm gonna ask, I like clarity, but I'm just a hard worker and I try to follow through the best that I can with things. I try to collab the best that I can with the team because I believe that our job is important. And especially dealing with the level of trauma clients that I have, consistency is very important with them. And so I do my best to just show up no matter how hard life gets sometimes. Experiences that has challenged me or helped me grow as a professional. Um, I think that, I've had a lot of experience in recovery, like being a person in recovery. However, I believe that it's offered me some challenges with some concrete thinking that I didn't know had been instilled. And so I'm having to do some deprogramming in a clinical aspect of how to apply, what I feel about recovery versus like maybe how a client is recovering on their own journey. And so just finding a level of acceptance and understanding, and tolerance of other people's beliefs and needs and knowing that like my way doesn't necessarily have to be the way and just remaining teachable. Feedback I received during supervision. So I think that I've tried to use my feedback as best as possible. I struggle with time management, and so documentation has been kind of one of my hardest things. I'd like to think that if I didn't have school course loads and things holding me back, that I would be a little bit more diligent with that. However, I'm not going to use that as an excuse because we have to find balance. And so, just taking the feedback from that, I've really been working on that. I'm not perfect yet, but I am getting better with compliance. What ADI practices have we observed? Which examples? I think that we do a good job within my facility for just creating a diverse atmosphere and an all inclusiveness. We have therapists from like many different backgrounds and we have clients coming in from a lot of backgrounds too. And I feel like just networking alone, sometimes I think we're like misfits there because we all are a little awkward in our own ways. I think you have to be when you deal with the level of like heaviness that we do. Um, but I see them observed in our agency just by kind of like walking out that like cultural competency and following up with like care with our clients because it really is tailored to them specifically. Okay, so we're going to review current self-care plan. What have I done for self-care? I went and got my nails done this week, and I know that doesn't seem like much, but sometimes that's like a 2, 3 hour thing. I got a pedicure too. And I try to also just unwind while I was there. Like I didn't scroll on my phone. I just wanted to be quiet for a minute and let my mind rest. I think just being aware that I needed my mind to rest is practicing some of my self-care. Um, I have gotten it's not that I've not gotten better to ask for what I need. Like I'm good at asking for what I need, but I've had just a lot of family stuff, sick kids and like surgeries and all of these things and things to juggle. And so I believe that my self-care has kind of went out the window a little bit. And I can tell that by the level of um compassion fatigue that I experience. And so just being aware of that too. I actually feel a lot better this evening or, wrapping up this week than I have because I kind of felt like I was very behind. But I've got all of my stuff caught up and I'm in compliance and that feels good. So um the barriers to my self-care have been some unanticipated things that have popped up, but we've navigated through them. I'm hoping that the next few weeks can kind of be as steady as it can as we're wrapping up this semester. Overcoming these obstacles, I think that I just deal with them one day at a time and I try not to let it all like get to me and feel too heavy because I know that like I have a good team and as long as I'm asking for what I need and reaching out to people that it's going to be okay. Will my plan change? I don't think my plan's going to change much more this semester. I'm kind of surviving Sunday to Sunday. I have been doing a little bit better about talking about my feelings, and I've been in my weekly therapy sessions. I haven't missed that. So that is self-care for me. Trying to keep open communication with my partner, whenever I'm short or I need to apologize for the things that I do. I really try to do that, as well as giving grace to the people in my household. And then how will I track the progress of my self-care? Well, these journals do a good job and help me remind that I need to look at things and make adjustments. But also, like I said again, I have to look at, my spirit and my spiritual condition. Like, what is my level of tolerance today? Am I participating? Am I taking? Just kind of being really self-aware of where I'm falling short and if I need to take breaks. And it said that the suggested assignment was 623, the difference in culture. I just want to emphasize that whenever we're using competency 3 with our ADEI, we're going right along with the code of ethics right there. And some of the things that I talked about in, my assignment with that was using appropriate language, cross-cultural knowledge, empowerment and advocacy, cultural humility, language barriers, non-judgmental manners, self-awareness, avoiding discrimination, empowerment, and then just being authentically you. Something that I think that I do practice a lot more now that I've gotten more comfortable. Just kind of telling people, hey, do you want to kind of tell me about your ethnicity, or like what is important for you to tell me so I understand you better? Because I do just want to understand. And I think I used to be afraid to ask those questions because I didn't want them to like judge me for being dumb or something, but I would rather ask the question and know and be able to apply that than just not know. And just doing that in a respectful manner too and remaining teachable. I think that that creates a level of authenticity that maybe they feel comfortable sharing that with me too. I hope that this check-in is good for you as well, and I look forward to seeing you as the semester wraps up. Thank you.